Brian Dawkins. What's up, B-Doc?
I'm absolutely blessed. Best by the best, that is. How you guys doing?
Great.
We're doing great now that we're talking to you, man. That's for sure. Now, we covered this the last time we spoke in terms of when you stepped away from football, you want to do more in the community. Impact Chat is right up that alley, is it not?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, being able to do things like this to bring a lot of quality individuals together to talk about some things that can bless some people is right up that alley you're talking about. You know, being able to bless as many people as possible with the things that are possible for them if they think differently than they're thinking right now. So this is what this chat is about, to help people think differently about not just the community, but about themselves, to change some things, to think differently, to do some things differently in order to achieve bigger things in the community.
Now, you have talked at length, and you used your Hall of Fame speech to talk about it as well, in terms of helping yourself and your mental strength and all of that. Is there a corner you felt that you turned, and if so, how did you turn that corner?
Oh, for me, it was prayer. I mean, I don't hide behind, or I don't shy away from telling people that I'm a man of faith and I'm a believer. So that's where my mental strength came from. But in doing that, I recognize that there's a discipline that goes into changing. There's a discipline involved, and that fell right in line with me as a player. The things that I did as a player to be better at my craft, that same mindset of discipline, I approached it by the things that I look at, the things that I study, the books that I read, to allow me to be a better version of myself. So the things that you see now were in me way back then. I just didn't know they were there. So it's the same thing for other people. There's things that are inside of all of us that we don't know that or recognize it to be there, but it's there. But it's only when we create or we dive into the discipline part of doing things on a consistent basis that we then discover those things. And it really is something to behold when you finally have that. Some people call it aha moment. I think of a light bulb going over your head like a cartoon. When you finally get that moment and recognize, man, that this is actually me doing this thing. This is actually me. This is not somebody else doing it. This is not someone from a book or someone who's extremely educated who has a gazillion and one degrees. No, this is actually me thinking this way, talking this way, and behaving this way.
And how did this event come together, Impact Chat, and how it's all going to work? I see you got Derek Gunn on this, you got Seth Joyner on this. How did all this come together?
Well, it came together because I'm Beyond Sport is running my foundation, and so they did something similar as it pertains to sports. And so I wanted to have that same type of feel to this, but I also wanted to have it more close to home, so to speak. You know, being able to speak to a lot of the individuals in Philadelphia. That's why you see so many Philadelphia athletes. And each one of these individuals that will be speaking are athletes. And I'll always call myself an athlete. Even though I don't play football anymore, I'll always call myself an athlete. I'm not a former athlete. I'm an athlete. And so all of these individuals, whether it be the NFL, NHL, some of them were Olympic gold medalists. So all of us would get on to talk from our experience. And I'm pretty sure you'll hear how each one of us has gone through something to get to where we are.
Is it good to is it accurate to describe it as like an ultimate motivational Zoom conference with all these great speakers?
It's motivational. It's going to be inspirational, but it's also going to be, knowledge given, like tangible things to do to help you where you are, where you find yourself right now. That the country, we're in a tough place right now. There's a lot of stuff going on. And to develop habits to help you, a daily habit. Some people call them habits. I call them disciplines. I also call them lifestyles, to create those things for yourself to help you through anything you go through. So if you develop these type of habits now, when the world goes back to whatever normal is going to be, you'll be ready for whatever else comes.
And what is your motivation, the fact that you've made it through your own struggles? Is that your motivation to help other people?
Yeah, it is that, but it's also the fact that I'm on the other side of the thing that I went through.
Mm-hmm.
So this possibility, this hope on the other side. When you're going through things, and this thing that we're going through, all of us are going through, is just for a season. Now, this is a very painful season for a lot of people, for all of us. Some probably more than others. This is a very painful season. And so to learn what you need to learn during this season, to prepare yourself for greater things to come. Because like I said, this is just for a season. This won't last.
Speaking with the great Brian Dawkins, for fans on Twitter and anyone really to wanting to better themselves in their community, you could sign up, and all you got to do is check out Brian Dawkins Impact Chat. I've tweeted out the link as well. BDawk Impact Chat. Just check that out right there. blessedbythebest.com as well. Brian, we're talking a lot of football, as you would assume, this week especially. We're just 2 weeks away from things getting underway. No preseason games, no scrimmages either going on in practices. What kind of football can we expect to just see these guys get up and go week one?
Well, it's probably, unless the referees are just told not to throw a lot of flags, it's going to be a lot of flags. That's one thing. It's going to be a lot of launches on the field. I would say that first of all. It's just very difficult to go and straight into the season and just be running like everything has been going like we used to do it, having preseason games, building up every week, building your conditioning up every week. So there's different things that won't be there. So in the fourth quarter, you're going to see probably some sloppy football pretty much throughout, but especially in the fourth quarter, because especially that first game, because you're not conditioned to go 4 quarters. It kind of takes a while to get your body conditioned for that. Now, they could be doing things in practice to help them out, but the adrenaline, everything is just different for the game. So it trains you to another level once you start playing. But the guys will get out there. They'll do what they do. It'll be some football being played. The quality of it right away, I don't know. Like I said, I think it's going to be a lot of flags, but they're going to try. They're going to try their best to do it.
Brian, with that being said, these guys not being out there, do you see, we hear this argument all the time, the offense is ahead of the defense is ahead of the offense. Do you think that'll be something that we'll be able to notice right away, one of those being ahead of the other to start this season without a preseason?
So the offense is ahead of the defense type of argument, or the defense vice versa, usually happens when you're putting in new stuff or you're putting in things for people to learn. When you have an offense already in place, you're solidified, you can go back to doing some of the things that you were doing, and it's already something that we already do. Now, obviously, you're going to have new guys. They have to learn things, but as far as the nucleus of the team, a lot of the guys should be, or if you're a coach that's been around, you've had a team for a while, there's specific things that you already know how to do. Just think of Jim Johnson. Specific blitzes, I know like the back of my hand. When he puts them in, I know them. I still take notes like I don't know them, just to make sure that I'm grasping all small details. But I know the blitz, so I'm not going to be behind on that blitz. It'll be new things that is put in. So I'm pretty sure that you're going to have offensive coordinators that are going to lean on some of the things that they've done in the past to help, not have that stagnation or not have that slow-moving offenses or offenses that like I was talking about, have a whole bunch of flags all over the place.
Speaking with Brian Dawkins, he's got a Impact Chat, Brian Dawkins Impact Chat, going on tomorrow, which is September 2nd. You could register by going to briandawkins.com. There's a registration slip you can just fill out right there. Click on register now. It's still open. Kayvon Wallace has been turning a lot of heads so far at training camp. I know you know the family well. He knows your son well, obviously. What can you tell us about Kayvon maybe going into this season?
Well, I'm trying to let Kayvon be Kayvon and let Kayvon, earn the respect that he's going to have to earn on this level. And, the more that I answer questions about it, the more people pump him up to be the next whatever. No, he's not the next anything. He's the first Kayvon. So I'm trying to let Kayvon be Kayvon. I'm excited for his opportunity. He has a tremendous opportunity, but there's some veterans in that secondary that are fighting for jobs. So that's going to be a tremendous battle for not just him, but for all of them. So I'm anxious to see who comes out on top when it comes to that battle because, we have the green guy to safety, and then we have Mr. Parks. Parks coming from Denver. That's putting his hat in the ring as well, and he's multi-talented, can do a lot of different things. So it's a lot of different competition in that room for him to go against. And being a rookie, not really grasping the speed of the game on this level, so I'm just anxious to see that battle play out.
And speaking of veterans, you brought that up a little off the beaten path here, but Jason Peters, I don't know if you saw this story. There's a report out. He signed with the Eagles to play right guard. and the report says that he wants to be paid more money if he's asked to play left tackle, even though he's by far the best option on the team right now. Is there ever a situation where another say, hey, could you mind just please play that position for us? You make us the best we could possibly be if you play left tackle. Is there ever a situation like that?
You said a player asks a player or a team asks a player?
A player asks a player, say, hey, I know you want more money, but you make us so much better by playing left tackle. Is there ever a situation where one player will talk to another player about money?
No. One of the I guess unwritten rules, the way that I saw it, was you don't talk about another man's money. Mm-hmm. That's the rule that I always stood by. I don't talk about another man's contract. I don't discuss somebody else, what they're making, what they're not making, and what they should make. I don't discuss those things. So as far as I'm concerned, it never happened. Did it happen that I didn't know about? Perhaps. But when you have a guy that's played as long as Jason has played, in some of these instances also, if that then happens, I would think, this is just as me now, I would think that an organization would do that, kind of lean towards it anyway, because tackle is much different from guard. There's so much more stress out there on that island. It's almost like a cornerback. So there's so much more stress, bump up that he may be asking for it, or if he's even asking, because it could be just speculation. Mm-hmm. I'm shocked if they did that anyway.
Okay, so if the Eagles, they might budge on this then.
I'm saying it may have. That's what I'm saying.
Right,
so
right.
He didn't even have to ask because they understand the difference between playing guard and tackle.
He says, you're 2 weeks away from the start of the season. He says, yeah, we don't have a left tackle, but I need more money if you want me to go over there. As a player on his team, and I heard what you just said, but as a player on the team, knowing that him at left tackle makes you a better team, does it come into your head at all to say something like, hey, nothing would be said?
Well, he knows we need him. Mm-hmm. He knows that. I don't have to tell him something they already know. That's why they're moving him back to tackle.
Okay. All right.
Brian.
So they know we need him.
Right.
Yeah.
He knows we need him.
Speaking with the great Brian Dawkins here, just to go back to something else that we talked about the last time you were on, you said, and I believe I had this correct, you said if I wear a fedora, as long as I wear it with confidence, I can pull it off, right?
Absolutely.
Boom. I just wanted to reiterate because people were fedora shaming me, Brian, and I didn't appreciate it, to be honest. So I appreciate you finally just putting that stamp of approval on it.
Man, the haters are going to hate. So you gotta keep that. Put it on your hashtag or something. Haters don't hate.
That's not it. We're just looking out for your fedora family, Brian, and we're not sure that Mark belongs there, but we're not hating.
As long as he don't wear it square. Like if he wears it, you got to tilt it. Do something with it.
Oh, yeah, he's got it down. He does that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You just can't put it on your head.
No. I mean, I learned that from you, Brian. I learned that from my Uncle Frank as well. You put a hat on your head, you better flick the side, make that thing turn, man. Now, Brian, also this, how can people learn more about how to register for Wednesdays? That's tomorrow's Impact Chat in order to check that out. BrianDawkins.com?
Yeah, just go to BrianDawkins.com, and it's right there on the site. You can scroll down and register or donate. But, I believe there's going to be something said on it that's going to bless a lot of people. And it's not just for the more seasoned individuals. There'll be some information for every age group, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. And people can also bid on exclusive memorabilia throughout the day as well. Proceeds go to hashtag BDocImpactFDNsYouth for hashtag mental well-being programs. Brian Dawkins, always great catching up with you. Thanks so much for being on with us. We hope to talk to you again soon. And good luck with tomorrow. It sounds like a great event.
Thank you very much. You guys are blessed.
Thanks, Brian.
Brian Dawkins.
Mark Farzetta with Bob Cooney and Jamie Lynch. Mornings on 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.